Caleb Tangitau's rise through New Zealand rugby has been one of the fastest and most exciting stories in the game. From dominating schoolboy sevens tournaments on the North Shore to becoming one of the most electric finishers in Super Rugby, Tangitau looked destined to become the next All Blacks winger. But as of May 15th, that dream has suddenly been placed on hold after a devastating injury that may change the course of his career. Born and raised on Auckland's North Shore, Tangitau first made his name through the New Zealand school system, where his speed, footwork and athleticism immediately separated him from other outside backs. Even at a young age, he had that rare ability all elite wingers possess. The power to beat defenders in tight spaces and then explode away into open field. Coaches quickly realised he was not just fast but instinctive. He could read broken play before anyone else on the field. His breakthrough truly came in rugby sevens. Tangitau starred for the New Zealand Condor Sevens side in 2020, one of the country's premier development pathways for young players. His performances earned him a full-time contract with the All Blacks Sevens setup by 2022. A massive achievement considering the depth of talent in New Zealand rugby. And once he arrived in the national sevens environment, he exploded. Tangitau quickly became one of the most dangerous attacking weapons in the squad, finishing as New Zealand's top try scorer during the 2022 season. In sevens, space disappears quickly, and only elite athletes consistently create opportunities for themselves. Tangitau did better than almost anyone. His acceleration, aerial skills, and ability to beat defenders one-on-one made him a nightmare matchup. That same year, he represented New Zealand at the 2022 Commonwealth Games, helping the side secure a bronze medal. But while sevens showcased his athleticism, many believed his future was always going to be in the 15-man game. Like several modern New Zealand outside backs, Tangitau used sevens as a launchpad before transitioning into NPC and Super Rugby. His game was perfectly suited to the professional rugby union. Powerful carries, elite finishing ability, and the confidence to attack from anywhere on the field. As he moved into the NPC, his performances immediately started turning heads. Tangitau's NPC rise was important because it proved he was more than just a sevens athlete. Defensively, physically, and tactically, he showed he could handle the demands of full professional rugby. Every season, his confidence grew. Every season, the highlight reels became longer. That form eventually earned him an opportunity with the Blues, where he entered one of the most competitive backline environments in New Zealand rugby. But despite his talent, opportunities were limited. The Blues already had established stars in their outside backs, and Tangitau was still developing physically and tactically. That's why his move to the Highlanders became such a crucial turning point in his career. At the Highlanders, Tangitau was no longer just a prospect. He became a featured weapon in the attack. The Highlanders gave him freedom, responsibility, and consistent minutes, and he repaid them immediately. During the 2025 Super Rugby season, Tangitau scored 6 tries in just 7 matches before injury cut his campaign short. Even with limited appearances, his impact was undeniable. Every touch felt dangerous. Every kick chase became a contest. Every counter-attack felt like it could become a try. Defenders struggled to contain him because he combined sevens-style footwork with genuine size and power. At 1.8 metres and nearly 100 kgs, Tangitau was not just quick. He was explosive through contact. His performances carried into the NPC season, and selectors took notice. By the end of 2025, Tangitau had earned selection for the All Blacks 15. A major signal that he was firmly on New Zealand rugby's radar. Heading into 2026, expectations exploded. Many fans and analysts believed Tangitau was not just an All Blacks bolter. He was potentially the future starting winger for New Zealand. Online discussions about All Blacks selections consistently included his name, with many supporters already penciling him into their test squads. And statistically, the hype made sense. Before his injury in May 2026, Tangitau had scored 7 tries in 11 Super Rugby matches and ranked among the competition leaders for clean breaks and defenders beaten. Those were elite attacking numbers, especially in a Highlanders side that was not dominating possession every week. He was producing moments out of nothing. Then came May 15th. In a match against the Chiefs, Tangitau suffered what Highlanders head coach Jamie Joseph initially described as a ruptured Achilles tendon. The injury occurred late in the game and immediately looked serious, with Tangitau leaving the field distraught. It was heartbreaking timing. Only weeks earlier, Tangitau had already battled through another major setback after suffering a heavy head knock against the Blues. The incident forced him out under concussion protocols and raised immediate concerns given the physical nature of the collision. After working his way back through recovery and finally returning to the field, many believed he was building momentum again at exactly the right time in the season. This is what made the Achilles injury even more tough to watch. Tangitau had only just fought his way back, regained his confidence, and started looking like one of the most dangerous players in Super Rugby once again. Newly appointed All Blacks coach Dave Rennie was in attendance, and Tangitau had been widely viewed as one of the strongest contenders for national selection later this year. Instead of building towards a test debut, he now faces a lengthy recovery process. Jamie Joseph summed it up perfectly after the match, calling the injury really disappointing for a young player who was playing really good rugby and aspiring to become an All Black. And that's what makes this story so difficult. Caleb Tangitau did everything right. He rose through New Zealand schools, dominated Sevens, succeeded internationally, transitioned into NPC Rugby, earned his Super Rugby opportunity, proved himself with the Highlanders, and pushed himself into All Blacks contention. At just 23 years old, he looked like the next great New Zealand winger. Now, rugby waits. Because if Tangitau can fully recover from this injury, there is every chance in the world that this is not the end of the story, only the hardest chapter so far.